CandyMan is a cult classic horror film. But did you know it was based on a true story? Yeah, CandyMan was real. Ruth Mae MCcoy was 52, a single mother that periodically suffered from bouts of mental illness, living in the Abla housing projects on Chicago's west side. The kind of place where poverty and violence were almost a part of the architecture.
They throwing the cabinet down, they coming through the bathroom.
From where, ma'am?
I'm in the projects, I'm on the other side. You can reach my bathroom. They want to come through the bathroom.
They're coming through the bathroom? Ma'am, what's your address again?
The call was panicked, confusing, but Ruth was very clear. Somebody was breaking into her apartment through her bathroom mirror. Here's the scary part though. At the Grace Abbott homes, the bathrooms in adjacent apartments were connected by a crawl space, a literal hole behind the cabinets. If somebody moved the mirror panel on one side, they could step directly into the next apartment. It wasn't just possible, it had happened before. And it had been reported to the police and the housing authority, but nobody took it seriously. Until Ruth. Her neighbors had heard multiple gunshots. They heard screaming, and then they heard silence. After Ruth's 911 call at 8:45 p.m., 2 officers were dispatched. They knocked, got no answer, and left. A second team arrived around 10 p.m. Still no entry, no forced check. They just left again. It wasn't until 2 days later that a CHA worker forced open the door to the apartment of 1109. Clothes on the floor, Bible open, dry blood in the hallway. Ruth was lying in the bedroom face down, dead from multiple gunshot wounds. She had been shot once in the shoulder, twice in the chest, and once in the left thigh. She bled to death alone, while everybody just assumed she was acting weird. Investigators discovered the bathroom cabinet had been pulled off the wall. The space behind it was empty, but the space was definitely large enough for somebody to crawl through. The killer, or killers, came through the bathroom mirror just like Ruth said in her 911 call. They likely came to rob her, but they left her to die. The tragedy was deeper than just a murder. Ruth was a black woman with a history of mental illness, living in poverty, and no one took her seriously. Even when she described exactly what was happening, nobody listened until it was too late. 5 years later, filmmaker Bernard Rose would base CandyMan in the Cabrini Green Project buildings, a very similar project to the Grace Abbott homes where Ruth was murdered. The urban legend of a killer in a mirror was rooted in Ruth's very real and very preventable death.
Do you remember her name?
I think her name was Ruthie Jean. So Ruthie called 911 and she said there's somebody coming through the walls. And they didn't believe her. They thought the lady was crazy.
But the ghost story lives on, and Ruth's name should be mentioned more often. But that's gonna do it for today, man. Make sure y'all like the video and subscribe to the Kno Lodge. We will be dropping gems for y'all on a regular basis, alright? Till next time, peace.